Looks like Hakim Ziyech could be off to Barcelona on loan, and Eden Hazard could be coming back to Chelsea on loan. I'm going to break that down for you, but we need to start with the most important thing that happened. £3,900 for a season ticket is ludicrous, but I don't think Chelsea are wrong for doing it. Let's get into it. Welcome to Kavkas View, and today's video is an insightful one. It's one that's going to trigger a lot of you because a lot of people won't listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth, and I'm just going to jump onto the stereotypical answer. The club should be cheap, it's for the fans. No, we need to talk about why Chelsea did what they did when they increased the fees from £1,000 to £3,900. Yes, it's more than over 200% increase. Well, I understand that. Do I think it's correct? Oh, I don't think it's correct. But I will explain the club's thought process because I think there's always important to have different perspectives. Then we're going to talk about Hakim Ziyech being linked on loan to Barcelona, to Dortmund, and we're going to see how the Eden Hazard links back to Chelsea, and Roberto Martinez came out and said something really interesting. And then finally, we're going to talk about two academy graduates that apparently have got a very good chance to be part of the first team squad, and how I think it means Chelsea are going to be moving to a back four next year with Wesley Fofana potentially being at the club. Yes, massive video I've got for you today. 4 massive stories. Let's get into them. But you know the deal. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and make sure you support the cause. Look, channels like this only grow when you lot support it. If you like me, if you mess around with this channel, if this is something that you have on in the background, hit that like button. Get the algorithm thing spinning, and more importantly, in the comments below, let me know what are your thoughts. Some of you can't go to games, you don't live in England, so it's going to be very expensive for you guys to get a season ticket. But what would your thoughts be? Do you think that the fans are right to be angry? And do you think Chelsea have a right to increase the price? Because both answers can be right. I think it's only right that we start by talking about the ticket price, because a lot of people actively want to say that Chelsea are bang out of order. Are they morally incorrect? Yeah, morally it is unethical to the point that Chelsea are exploiting other people's weaknesses, because that's what it is. Football is our weakness. We love it. We pay ridiculous amounts of money to go and watch games. We pay a ridiculous amount of money to watch it on TV. We pay a ridiculous amount of money to get a t-shirt. Like, it's ridiculous that a football top is £120 if you want to get a name on the back with a little logo on it. It's absolutely ridiculous, right? It's ridiculous that you have to pay £70 in England to get a Sky subscription. Then you don't even get the 3 o'clock games. You don't even get certain weekend games because you have to pay for BT. Then now you're going to have to pay for Amazon. So if we're going to talk about a ridiculous standpoint, why are we starting here? Why are we not talking about those? Why are we not trying to fix those? But for me, the reality is, and this is the problem, Chelsea wanted to leave Stamford Bridge at one point in time. They wanted to move to Battersea Power Station to break that down and make a beautiful stadium. The pitch owners who own an element of the pitch said, no way, Jose, we're not moving. It's not happening. We need to keep the ethics. We need to keep our moral. We need to keep our history. We need to be Chelsea F.C. Without Stamford Bridge, there is no Chelsea. And for me, whilst I like the sentimental side of football, I understand the reality of it, that it's a corporational business. It is a business, and it's become a business a long time ago. And a lot of you won't like the song argument, but it's the truth. Chelsea Football Club is not a football club. Chelsea are a public limited company, basically, right? They've got their own owner, but at the same time, they've got little shareholders in all these different sponsors that have a little bit of influence here and there, that are paying money, getting advertisement left, right, and center, and all of a sudden, too many cook chefs in the kitchen, and guess what happens? The club is no longer about the fan. But do I have a problem with that? No, because I understand what modern day football is. And I've always said this, and I got cooked for this. If you want to watch old school traditional football, go and watch your local team play. And when I say your local team, I don't mean if you live in Chelsea, go watch Chelsea. I mean go watch your Sunday league team play. Go watch your non-league team play. Don't be moaning about millionaires running around the pitch, because that's what you are watching. You're watching millionaires. You can't relate to Mason Mount. No matter how much you want to say you are Mason Mount, you're not. Because from the young age, Mason Mount's been caked. He's had all the money he's wanted because he was already destined for greatness. He had sponsorships, and he's a footballer with different lifestyle to you. So this whole, oh, he's one of us. I understand he's one of us in maybe he loves Chelsea like we do, but we're different. We walk different walks of life. This is why we're complaining about paying £3,900. The reality is Chelsea are an enterprise and it's a business. If Chelsea want to charge you 6 grand, they can charge you 6 grand. Don't color it in any other way. It's sad that they want to exploit their fan base like this because it's an illness that we have. But they're doing it and it's tough. We have to suck it up and take it, because I'm telling you now, the people that are complaining, the match-going fans that are complaining, you will be going because you always end up going. You will go, you will pay, and you will buy the drinks, you will buy the pies, you will buy the tops, and you will invest back into this club. And the club knows this. This is a calculated decision. You think the club didn't know there was going to be a meltdown on Twitter, and apparently I'm the one that's an idiot because I don't understand. I'm so out of touch. How am I out of touch? I'm giving you guys facts. I'm giving you facts that the club has thought through already. There is no way the club thought this was going to go down all roses. When you lot didn't allow us to get a bigger stadium, the club had to decide on other ways that we're going to become self-sufficient. They've got a corporate section. They're trying to get the West End to be corporate. That's exactly what they're doing. They're pricing people out of that place and they're making it as corporate as possible. And slowly, don't be surprised if the way you're going to be watching football is through your TV, because you're not going to be able to afford it. And sadly, that's the way the football's been going. But what did you think was going to happen when people like Ben Chilwell are on that 190k a week? Someone needs to be paying for that. Our TV revenue, our match-going tickets, our sponsorships, all of that needs to be paid somehow. And guess what? We are the culprits. It is our fault that this has happened. And sadly, this will continue happening forever and ever because we will keep investing into this game. Look, a lot of you have got angry about that, but let's talk football because I'm sick and tired of this political conversation. Look, it looks like Hakim Ziyech is going to be going on loan, but I don't think it's to Barcelona. Barca don't have money. What money do they have to be loaning Hakim Ziyech? They definitely can't sign him. Reports from Matt Law are coming out that Chelsea don't want to loan, they want to sell. If they get rid of Hakim, it'll be on a loan, on a sell. They do not want to loan him out, but I don't think the current COVID market is allowing that to happen. So I don't see him going anywhere unless we bring Eden Hazard in. And Roberto Martinez has come out and openly said that Eden Hazard isn't happy. He's a little bit disappointed. He's not his bubbly self. But how can he be? Rumours are coming out left, right and centre from Spain that Eden Hazard's on the loan block and we can get him in if we want to. For me, that's a big deal. Look, if we can get Eden back on loan, the way Spurs did with Gareth Bale, test him out, give him a little bit of time, effort, see what kind of player he's become. See whether he's still the same Eden Hazard. Maybe the weather in England is different on his body. Maybe the water in England gives him superpowers. Maybe Eden Hazard becomes who we know Eden Hazard is. Maybe Eden Hazard comes back and recreates some of that great form and takes us to another back-to-back Champions League. But it is what it is. I don't know, right, what's going to happen. But the reality is we're going to be seeing stories like this on a regular basis. And January is going to be an exciting. Another player we've been linked with, and I'm actually low-key excited, is Wesley Fofana. Wesley Fofana is a great player. Wesley Fofana came from Saint Etienne. And he was linked, right, from Saint Etienne to Leicester. Even when William Saliba was going, and everyone was talking about Saliba, like everyone's like, Saliba's a great footballer, Saliba's gonna be the thing, he's the Kylian Mbappe of centre backs, yeah? And next thing you know, you have a young, smart individual like Wesley Fofana coming in at Leicester and balling out. He literally balled out. He was putting out 9 out of 10 performances, 8 out of 10 on a regular basis, to the point where Real Madrid were looking at it. As time went, he got injured and he's out for a long period of time, but he will be back soon. And next season, not this summer, the season after, he's a free agent. And now Chelsea are looking at him. They want to pounce, they want to offer him a new deal and potentially bring him to the club. What does that signal to me? It signals that there's going to be an overlay in centre back. Because there's no way he's just coming in as... He might be the Jules Koundé replacement because, you know, everyone knows we wanted Koundé. But at the same time, I think Rudiger's gone. I really do. I might make a video on it in the coming days and we'll talk about it. I think Rudiger is as good as gone. There is no way the club are going to match his demands. The club are not matching his demands. Christensen, potentially stay. Thiago Silva, he'll be going, I think. And Azpilicueta, I don't know what's going to happen. I really don't know. But then the same fans that say re-sign all of them don't want to be paying extra for their season tickets. Like, it doesn't make sense to me, you know? Like, but I'm not going to get started on that. All I'm going to say is Wesley Fofana would be an upgrade in our defence. I think he's one for the future. I think he's a great footballer in general. So, I want to see him at Chelsea. I would not have an issue with seeing him at Chelsea. This story made me very happy. It looks like Reports are coming out that both Billy Gilmore and Conor Gallagher have no place being sold. Chelsea are actively going to try to integrate them into their squad next year, which tells me Saul, Barkley, +1 will be leaving. And I genuinely think that is the case. If all Saul and Barkley will be leaving in general, because we will be moving into the right direction. I think this is what Chelsea need to be doing. You supplement the squad with youth players and you buy top caliber players. And then the youth players develop and become the first team players, or if they're not good enough, you sell them on and supplement with the next batch of youth players. That's the balance that the club needs to take. We don't need to have Saul, we don't need to have Ross Barkley's, we don't need to have players that are above and beyond their pay grade. We need to have players in the 60s, the 50s, the 70s, K range, have them on the bench, good squad building, good allocation, and then when they're ready to step up, that's when you bring the next batch in. And I think Conor and Billy will be great additions. Billy will be the heir to Jorginho. Conor will be the heir to who? If we move to a 4-3-3, he can play box to box. I don't see him as a twin 10. I really don't. I see him in the double 6, and so does Tuchel. We saw that in pre-season. So he's got the engine to get up and down. I don't know whether he's got the technical ability of dictating play, because it's completely different when you have time and space and you have to shift the ball quicker. I know he's good in tight spaces in the final third. He's proven that. I know he's good, got a knack to get in the box and get a goal. But can he do the Kovacic, the Jorginho, or the Kante role? That is the key. We are going to be looking for replacements for Jorginho and Kante in the near future. 1 to 2 years max. So now it's the time to see other people's CVs and see what they put forward to the table. Realistically speaking, people aren't going to do that. Peeps, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let me know your thoughts, alright? I know what I said today could be viewed as controversial, but you guys come here for my honest opinion. I'm not like these other channels who are going to stay silent on these situations and give the politically correct answer, because they want likes, they want subscriptions, and they want all the rewards that come with it. They want to work with a club and they want to achieve stuff. Do I want to work with a club? 100% I want to work with Chelsea. But do I want to sit here and lie to you? No. If anything, I'm backing Chelsea here. Chelsea have every right. Chelsea have every right to increase their prices. Is it morally wrong? Yes, it is. I'm going to reiterate that. Morally, it's wrong. But business-wise, they will be stupid not to raise their fees. It happens at all big clubs. It would be the most expensive season ticket. 100%. I appreciate that. But it's a completely different model to Germany, where fans have an ownership in the club. So, I'm sorry if it offends you, but it's the reality. Peace out. I'm out. Bye.